Oh, we got this. Okay. All right. Nope. Hey guys, it's Bridget. So today we're going to show you how to make a standard basic chocolate cake with some standard basic buttercream. This recipe is not my own. I actually got it from Food Network, which obviously everyone knows is fantastic. And the buttercream recipe is going to be from Sally's Baking Edition. I'm sure if you're following the baking community, y'all know who Sally is. So we're going to be playing with those two recipes today. We're going to start off making the cake. So I'm going to show you the steps on how to do that, give you the ingredients, the measurements, and it'll be great. So let's get started. You guys are going to need 1 cup of cocoa along with 1.5 cups of boiling water. You're also going to need 2.5 cups of flour. You're going to need 2 cups of sugar, and then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt, which, as you can see, we combined all 3 together in this nice little bowl we have here. And you're also going to need 3 eggs, and then you're just gonna need 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, which is right here. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you guys through this, and it's gonna be great. All right guys, so the first step is you have to mix the cocoa powder with your boiling water. This helps make it extra nice and chocolatey. If you want, before you pour the water in, maybe just give the cocoa powder a little whisk just to kind of break up any clumps that are in there, make it nice and smooth. We do have our 1.5 cups of boiling water. So we're just gonna pour that in. And you are just gonna mix that together until it's nice and smooth. So you have your cocoa powder and your boiling water nice and mixed together. Just go ahead and set that to the side for a second. I'm just gonna put this back here. And then your next step is to whisk your flour with your sugar, your baking powder, baking soda, and salt. So you can just pour them all in the same bowl. Mix it up with a spatula, with a whisk. So once that is done, you're actually gonna go ahead and add in your eggs, vegetable oil, and almond extract. The recipe on Food Network actually calls for vanilla extract, but we really like almond extract, so we're actually gonna substitute vanilla for almond. You can use any flavored extract you want. So we're gonna go ahead and add the eggs. I didn't think about the garbage.
Good thing we just cleaned the floor.
I was gonna say, we're not gonna show them that I did that though.
Oh, we're not?
Nope.
I mean, it's still filming.
All right, so once you put your eggs in, you then need to add your vegetable oil and your almond extract. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. We're just gonna pour the vegetable oil in, almond extract. So now you guys are gonna go ahead and grab your hand mixer, stand mixer, whatever it is you have. You're gonna beat this on low for 1 minute. Okay, Okay, so next thing you guys are gonna do after everything is mixed together is you are gonna go ahead and add that cocoa mixture. So just go ahead and pour that on in. And then you're just gonna go ahead and mix everything together. You're just gonna like mix it all together until it's all nice and smooth. The batter is gonna be thin, so don't be alarmed if it's thin. Don't think you did something wrong. It is gonna be a thin batter.
Oh, that's great. You good?
So let's go ahead and just get a closer look at what the batter should look like. Look at that, that is so nice. Nice and smooth and chocolatey, really glossy kind of chocolate finish. Yep, I got some on my finger, that's okay. So basically, this is done batter. Okay guys, so make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We will leave the recipes for both the Food Network chocolate cake and Sally's buttercream in the description below. You want to also have 2 cake pans ready with parchment paper. We are actually using these fantastic little heart-shaped pans by Valetine Cakes, and we got these nifty little parchment paper placements at Michael's. You can get them for really cheap there. They're great. If you have a circle pan, perfect. If not, if you have a different funky shape like we do, you can always do what we did and just kind of, you know, take a scissor and make a little cut to fit your shape of your cake pan. So once you guys have your batter prepared and your pans prepared, just go ahead and pour that batter right on in. So once you guys have everything poured into the pan, just make sure you don't fill it up all the way. You want the cake to have enough room to rise, and you don't want your cake to just rise and overflow. So make sure about that. As you can see, the parchment paper is a little crinkly, but that should pan out as the cake, you know, flattens out, widens out, and rises. And if not, you can just mix it with a little bit of frosting. So then you guys are just gonna go ahead, take your cake pans and stick them in the oven. Remember, again, at 350. You're gonna bake these for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. And we'll see you guys in a little bit.
You know you've made it when you're talking to your pans, right?
Okay guys, so we're back. We're gonna show you how to do the buttercream now. For this buttercream, you're gonna need 3 sticks of butter, room temperature. You should cube them before you mix them. It just makes everything a whole lot easier. You're going to need 5 cups of powdered sugar, 5 tablespoons of heavy cream, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract or extract of your choice. Again, we're using almond. So first thing you want to do is beat your butter on medium speed for about 2 minutes. Okay, so after your butter is nice and beaten and fluffy, you're gonna go ahead and just add your 5 cups of powdered sugar and your heavy cream and your vanilla, or you know, your extract, whatever you choose. I'm just gonna eyeball that for now, put that in there. And then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna beat this for another 3 minutes until it's nice and creamy. Start off slow. You don't want the powdered sugar to like go all over your kitchen. So start off like on, you know, a slow speed. As everything blends together, you'll be able to pick the speed up a little bit more, but you also don't want to overbeat it. You just want it nice and creamy. Also, you should probably scrape your bowl down from time to time with either a spatula or a bowl scraper, and just kind of make sure everything is nice and mixed. Once you're done, you just want a nice, smooth, creamy, whipped consistency, just like this. And next part we're gonna actually move on to is the ganache filling, which is the easiest thing in the world. If you guys do want an actual video on how to create it, we can definitely do that for you. Just leave it in the comments below so we know that that's what you guys want. But really it's basically just heavy cream and chocolate chips or baking chocolate, chopped chocolate, whatever chocolate you have on hand, Hershey's chocolate. Just 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup of chocolate chips. You make sure that the heavy cream is at boiling temperature. You pour that over your chocolate chips, and then you mix them together until it's nice and creamy. It comes together and it makes a beautiful chocolate filling, icing, you name it. Ganache is amazing. So we're gonna use that for the filling on this cake. And then of course, just make sure before frosting, even before frosting, you wanna level your cake, frost it, fill it, everything. You have to let the cakes cool for at least a solid hour. You don't want crumbs getting in your frosting while you're, frosting the outside of the cake, because that's not a cute look for the cake. So we'll see you guys soon. So we're back. We did let the cakes cool overnight. We are now on day 2, getting ready to frost, fill, and decorate our cake. Not in that order. We need to fill, frost, and then decorate, but whatever, regardless. First thing you want to do is start off with a cake board. I usually like to get a few inches larger than the cake I'm working with, just because it gives enough room for decorating and everything. Dollop of buttercream really helps to secure the cake on, so your cake is not flailing around while you're decorating it. And also, if you have a nifty turntable, it always helps to decorate on one of those as well. Of course, if you don't have one, plates are just as good. Okay, so you guys are just gonna go ahead and take your cake, place it nice and evenly on your cake board. Make sure it is secure, because the last thing you want is for your cake to go flying while you're decorating it. And you're gonna start with the filling. So we have our nice chocolate ganache filling here. If you are like us and pre-make your filling, it is gonna get stiff, so you do wanna just pop it in the microwave for 30-second intervals until you get a nice consistency to fill with. What I'm gonna do, I am just going to take a spoon, put some in the middle, and I'm just gonna start spreading it. Now, usually, a spoon is okay. Usually you would do this with a spatula, an offset spatula probably, but we don't have one of those right now, which is totally fine. So we're gonna go ahead and just take this nice spoon here, and we are just gonna fill the cake. Edit that noise out, please.
Nope. Well, don't forget that when...
Help! Okay guys, so by now you should have your filling nice and smooth. Remember, you don't want to overfill your cake. You don't want your filling to go across the edges either. You just want to have a nice smooth ganache filling, nice and chocolatey. And what you basically want to do is just take your second heart, match it up with the first one, make sure everything is nice and even. Again, you don't want frosting leaking out the side, filling leaking out the sides. If you do have a little, just kind of like brush it off with your spatula or your knife. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the cake, we're gonna pop it in the freezer for about 5 minutes just to get that filling kind of set, because it is a little liquidy right now and we want it to be nice and firm when we go to make our crumb coat on the cake. Hey guys, so we're back. We took the cake out of the freezer. Again, you only need to leave it in for about 5 minutes or so just so it stiffens up a little bit. Maybe put the timer on so you don't forget. If you're like me and you literally forget everything, you just want to go ahead and start icing your cake. You can start on the sides, on the top. It really all depends on how comfortable you are. I personally like to start on the sides. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start off with a light crumb coat. The crumb coat is gonna be your base for the icing. This way, you know, it picks up any crumbs that may be on the outside of the cake. You wanna just go ahead and do that all the way around. And I'm actually gonna tell you guys something. This is the first non-round cake that I've iced, so I am literally making this up as I go along. Literally have only ever iced square or round cakes. This is like my first time ever, so bear with me. And also, I don't know, I'm at a loss of words, so let's just cut that part out. Usually what I like to do is I like to take a bowl or a bench scraper and just kind of scrape the excess off from the sides. Just because I did put a little too much on for a crumb coat, we don't need that much. And then what you guys are gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna go ahead, pop it in the freezer again for about 5 minutes or so that crumb coat stiffens up, and you can then go ahead and finish icing your cake, which we'll show you in just a few minutes. And we're back. We put our crumb coat in the freezer and now it is out. And as you can see, it's definitely stiffened up a bit. And so now you're just gonna go ahead and ice the rest of your cake. The top, the sides, go for it all. So I'm basically just smoothing the top of the cake out as much as I can. Again, like I'm just winging it, and you guys are winging it with me, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna just go around the cake again. Take off any excess because you definitely want like a smooth layer. Also, guys, remember, depending on how you're decorating your cake, you don't have to have a perfectly iced cake. If you are planning on, you know, covering your cake in sprinkles or doing rosettes around your cake or something like that, you don't have to have it perfect. So, you know, our cake obviously is a little more opaque. We were not going for a perfect finish coverage. Also, the top of the cake does not have to be perfect for this specific one, only because we're going to use a melon baller, and we are going to take out some top of the cake and replace it with chocolate. Okay, so if you guys want to go ahead and do what we just did, we kind of took where we wanted to place our chocolates, and now we're just going to go ahead and take a melon baller, pick up your first piece of chocolate, and just go ahead and dig little ball out and pop your chocolate in there. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this 6 more times and then we will meet you back here. I haven't, that was so good. Like, imagine eating hot sauce every day and then one day you're just told you can't have it anymore. That is what happened to me. So this is like a really nice reunion. I can't overdo it too much, or else I will not go into work tomorrow. Stack them like this, yeah.
I love it.
Let me vomit all over it. I love it so much.
I love it.
Hey guys, we're back. So as you can see, we did some decorating off camera. Here is our finished cake. We did just a buttercream swirl on the bottom with our own nifty little sprinkle mix using Wilton's Jimmy's small white pearls, glitter dust, and pink pearls. The roses and the leaves you can just use simple piping tips for. We will leave the piping tips in the description below. And feel free to decorate your cake however you want, or feel free to, you know, be inspired by our design. We had such a fun time baking with you guys, and we really can't wait for you to see our costume tutorial. The new video for that should be up soon, so stay tuned, and thanks again for hanging in there with us. Don't forget to like us and subscribe if you liked this video. And if you want notifications for when we post new videos, go ahead and click the bell, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks again.